talking about it at the workshop the other day, like all the guys were there like to eventually go online, and we were like, they want to make enough money in the gym to go online, and we want to make enough money online to be able to go back into the gym, just in a different method, like run workshops and all that sort of shit, like get face to face with people. It's like obviously the face to face environment isn't sustainable for an extended period of time to do what we want to do in the lifestyle that we want and the business that we want and the impact that we want. But it's like eventually our goal is to get to a point where it's like, hey, we're doing a 1 week whatever powerlifting summit, bodybuilding summit, whatever it is, come so you can actually facilitate that and get back to the stuff that you do enjoy.
Yeah, well, I guess the take home message is like work towards what you love or what you want to do, rather than a perceived fucking thing. You know,
this lifestyle that people think like working online, they're like, oh, you just wherever you want to be, and
it's all hard.
Like, I mean, Zach jokes about working in his undies all day, or actually he usually says that he's naked 90% of the time, but, from the waist down. But you know, Zach's been with us for 6-7 years now or something like that, and it didn't start that way, and Nexus obviously has grown a lot over that time, that he has the luxury of being able to be a little bit more relaxed with some aspects of his role, but there are a lot of other aspects of his role that has changed so much now that he's busier than where he was when he first, you know, well, I mean, you'd hope, but like the role grows over time, and it's not just this luxe life of sitting in my undies all day, not, you know, just
people
putting
just flock
numbers
to
in
me.
a spreadsheet.
Numbers just flock to me. Don't have to do nothing.
I wish.
Funny.
OnlyFans where you just sit in your undies all day and make money off it.
I'm sure they still work hard, you know, to some degree.
Got to put in the work.
Marketing and everything. It still is a business at the end of the day.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah.
It's a nice little studio.
It's cool. Very hidden away. Tam commented earlier that it looks a lot bigger on camera, which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a tight fit.
Snug.
When I walked in, I was like, oh, this is going to be, but it's fine. It's actually cozy in here.
Yeah, we got the aircon.
Yeah.
We got the velvet curtains, which
you
help.
have the aircon. You're sitting directly.
That's why this is my seat.
Very adamant when it's very clear when you walk in. Will sits here.
Yeah.
And then the curtains help cut like the sound out and make it really, bring an aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Got some cool shit like these couches in. Yeah, that's mad.
Everyone was making comments on like, this is the casting couch room, and
of course that's just the standard.
It's the vibe. It's meant to be a gentleman's club.
Yeah,
that was kind of the.
I feel like I could have a big fat stogie here.
That
had a couple of glasses of nice scotch in there.
Yeah,
you know?
That's actually exactly what it is.
It is a.
If you open it
that's
up.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
A couple of glasses.
We should get some cigars on the way home.
Done.
Just to tick off the trip as successful.
Wasn't
successful.
It's nice, just for that.
Let's get one of those too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you can say like, oh fuck, we're killing it, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't do it the other day.
Do the business coach ad like with the big fat stogie and the glasses.
Hey,
I'm successful, guys.
Just find a Ferrari at the airport or something.
Yeah. So I have my first question. Last time we spoke in person, both of you said, "I'd never open a gym. Fuck that."
Yeah, that's true.
Now you have two of them. The fuck happened?
When did we last see you in person?
That was a long time ago.
Pre-lockdowns.
No, it was just the evolution of it, because we, what was before the gym? The mentorship, like we launched all that. I felt like we learnt a lot through that process.
Yeah.
I
was excited to come train in your like at-home gym.
Yeah.
Still a lot of gym equipment in there.
Cut walls out and shit, cut rock out, and then I was like, no, we have a gym now.
Yeah. But before that was the mentorship. We learned a little bit about marketing, about launching, and a few other like just key business processes. And then that went really well and continues to do well. And then that was like, oh, cool. Like I feel like we ticked that box. Yep. And then the next level to it is potentially a gym. But like you said, because of COVID, we started in a house, and we had been collecting secondhand equipment for years because we're like, eventually I want to put some shit at home.
Yeah.
So we had like a bit of a collection of just crap in the garage anyway.
During COVID, we had a mono and a bench.
Had everything. Just shit that we just bought.
In a single carport.
Yeah.
So like
Sounds
the
amazing.
barbell on either side was like
it was tight.
Just touching off the wall that you could fit a plate on.
Yeah. But it started as that, and then because we were like, oh man, how good would it be to train at home? And then we cleared out the new houses. We cleared out the rock and made it really aesthetic and spent heaps of money on like developing that and put it all in there. And then was sick to train, but
Great over COVID.
and we actually met like a bunch of these people who still train here today. Like I was inviting around. I'm like, yeah, come train, like fucking hang out. And yeah, just got a bit of a vibe going. And I think off the back of that and COVID opening back up and just like opportunities arising, it was kind of like, oh, I kind of like this. I don't know. And then it just felt like the next evolution of like brand and authority and just like once you own a gym, it's like kind of that little bit more respect.
We get it. We get it.
Brick and
now.
mortar
It's like,
gives you status.
where's
a
your
little
gym? It's like on the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But where's your gym?
Yeah, people don't understand it.
Or even like what you do. If you just say like, I have a gym, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like your mum and your grandpa and
Yeah, it's
shit.
like,
I have a gym. Oh, okay.
100%.
I run
know
a
what that
fitness
is.
business. What the fuck does that mean? Do you do Zoom calls in latex? Like, how does this?
Yeah. They don't get it until it's brick and mortar.
Yeah.
But it just was like it happened really quickly in terms of like from idea to reality.
Yes, and this gym is Will's. Townsville is my fault. Like Will was.
I love that
like-
it's fault,
Yeah.
not idea, inspiration.
This
It's
gym
just
is
fault.
Will's fault, and then Townsville is my fault. So Will found this place on Facebook Marketplace.
Of all places,
Yeah,
marketplace.
he's like, some guy was just closing his gym down and selling it off, and said gym for sale. And
Mad.
Will obviously working with a business coach at the time to get the mentorship and all that sort of up and running and growing and doing really well, bringing on new coaches and just improving the whole system of the business. Actually, like having a structured business. We were just like, well, we've done well out of this. Like, what is the next evolution? And so Will just found this on Marketplace.
Yeah, but there was one more key aspect to it, and I feel like you guys will, doing what you do in knowing a lot of gym owners and coaches and stuff will understand, and that is that I see a lot of gym owners, like they started out of just passion, whatever. Maybe they're a PT at a gym and they're like, oh, fuck, I'll bring all my clients across and then just have my own place.
Yeah.
Never works like that. But anyway, then they get in there and then they realize that people just aren't going to rock up.
Yeah.
And now I have to pay bills. Oh, who's going to clean the floor? I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go from owning a gym and the things that you should be doing to grow the gym, you can't do because you're so fucking busy. And then you do that for 10 years and then you're like, this actually sucks. So I don't actually make that much money out of this. I get paid a standard fucking job wage at the end of the day once after expenses. So, and then they end up never growing.
Yeah.
And then they shut down. That's the standard. So for us, a massive like key component of it was like, we already have full books of clients.
Full-time jobs.
Like we already have full-time jobs, like very good jobs that I like doing. So if we open a gym, I can't work there.
You don't want to buy another job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trading. I would be trading with that job for another job, and potentially not a good job in terms of like lifestyle and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like we can't open a facility until we get somebody like can afford not only the facility but a full-time employee to run it for us and to everything. So
we've had that exact conversation.
Yeah. So we needed to go right. Like So it's not only the launch fees and the equipment and all this money that we need for that, but all the upfronts. But it's also like a full-time wage that we need to be able to afford from day one when there's no clients in there, and be able to the online business needed to be strong enough to almost like support this one until it could support itself. Yeah. So I feel like that's maybe where like a lot of gyms just kind of either fall or kind of just cruise, like they never kind of get anywhere. Whereas for us, that was massive. Is being like, okay, like that's a separate thing, and we're just gonna like focus on the growth of it. Yeah.
The other difference as well is that obviously having the online company at such a successful position that it was in, the systems that we were implementing here, we already had. Yeah. So like we offer, high quality coaching, programming and all that sort of stuff, like the nutrition, the whole system and the service. So all we were doing is porting our online services to a physical location. Yeah. This is just the place that you now execute what we have spent the last 9-10 years developing. So that was a huge no-brainer for us, where again, like a lot of other gym owners, they're like, oh, now I need to get really good at writing programs and coaching people and things like that. We had great quality coaches that we had as staff that we brought in, and people that could implement the programming systems that we have.
Or they just don't offer
seamlessly.
coaching, and then they end up competing against Snap Fitness.
Yeah.
And then Snap Fitness is always going to kick your ass because they're such a powerful brand and know how to market way better than you ever.
And their price point is...
unless they're charging $12 a week. So unless you want to charge fucking $10 a week.
Make nothing.
I think that's a really interesting point with powerlifting in particular. I was thinking about this on the way here. Do you think the landscape has shifted? I know when I first got into powerlifting coaching, it was like you'd sit down with someone and like tell them your price, then be like, I get coaching and a membership and a whatever at my gym for $40 a week. And it's like the programming's just the program of the strongest person in the gym that's just giving it to everybody. And that was like the standard kind of practice. I know at least in Melbourne, a lot of those gyms are vanished because it's like they didn't have the systems and the services to actually move online or be dynamic in any kind of way. Has the landscape, because I'm probably unplugged a little bit from it now, has that landscape changed? Is this kind of high value,
I feel like everybody's hybrid now.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't got online coaching down, like you're going to be struggling because again, you're aligning yourself to compete against Worlds and against fucking Good Life and shit like that. And if you're just renting your space out and here's my PT, but like they're no better than any other PT or whatever, like it's
no differentiation.
You're in direct competition with. It's like me going like I'm going to start a grocer and I'm just going to fucking take down Woolies. Like it's like absolutely no chance. Like, fuck.
Yeah, our point of difference is that high quality, custom personalization, and then the culture and the community that big box gyms just sadly can't create because they're appealing to masses and volumes.
Yeah.
So we are like our target market, we know our sort of target market and who we're looking for. It's not just powerlifters, because if you're a powerlifter, you probably know the space exists, right? So you're probably
you're going to Google it and find us straight away.
You put in powerlifting gym and there's 3 locations on the Gold Coast in particular that come up, and we are one of them. So the other ones are obviously much further north, so location then. We're appealing to people that are sick of the world gyms or the commercial spaces that don't have that community and culture. That, if you're spending a large period of time at the gym, you want to enjoy your time there, and you don't also want to be overwhelmed by people bumping into you or, you know what I mean?
Dicks.
So, our members are people that were at those commercial gyms.
But I swear when I train, even when I train at Worlds, I turn into a bit of like your standoff because everybody else is like that. Everyone's wearing headphones. Everybody's like, you catch somebody's eye and you're like, oh, fucking don't look at me, cunt. Like it's just very different. Whereas you walk in here, literally first second walking in the door, like everyone, like
you got
three people are fist bumping you. Everybody's yelling, actually just talking to each other like people, so
it's a community, it's a culture, and that is our point of difference.
I think the one thing, I remember one particular moment that we're already in the in the mindset of like opening it, but we hadn't got the location or whatever, and we're training at Worlds. And there's one particular incident that really kind of irked me, and I always go back to it and the difference to how we are now, and that is that Mikki was training and I think you were trying to do bicep curls or tricep push downs, one of the two, like on a cable station.
Yeah, there was a functional trainer.
Yeah, then there was a functional trainer, so you got 2 sides to it. And one other member there was you doing also push downs or whatever on one side. And then Mikki went up and asked, oh, hey, do you mind if I use the other side for my tricep push downs? And she was like, oh, no, sorry, like I'm supersetting. I'm doing tricep push downs on this one and then bicep curls on that one. And I was like, what? I just move the thing like down. You know, it moves, yeah? Like, and it was just like, that just pissed me off. I'm like, God, no. We're open in our gym. Everybody's going to work in together.
I'm using that as bicep curls to just do triceps here.
Yeah. She wouldn't share the functional cable machine with me.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm just saying like
the vibe's not good there.
It's not the same.
The community's not great. Yeah.
I want people to share.
I was comfortable and confident enough to walk up to someone and ask if I could work in with them, which is one thing that even in commercial gyms you're just like, oh, I'll just wait for them, and then they're on the machine for ages,
forever.
How many sets you got, bro?
But
that was another moment.
Another incident is like, how many sets have you got in this league? And she's like, 5 more sets. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries.
3.
Legit, he did like 8 sets on this thing, but he was just sitting there, and then in between, it's the in between that it's like I know that this person has got to work on this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And instead of like being a little bit more brisk paced with my resting set time, he was just sitting there on his phone, and I just walked up and I was like, I just lingered. I was like, you know what? Screw this guy. Like, you know what? I'm here and I got to use that piece of equipment too, man.
Yeah.
So, again, like I think I ended up walking up and just be like, hey, in between your sets, can I jump in? And I just like, I did the whole like, that's your weight. This is my weight. And just add another 2 or 3 plates. I'm like, screw you, man. Like,
even if I die, it's worth it.
But that's the very long story. That's the long version of it, where that mindset changed. It was just like kind of like it just came out of opportunity, and we had the things in place, like a bunch of things already ready to go, and it just made sense.
Yeah. It's funny. Like we've
Townsville
obviously
was different.
We've designed our gym a lot.
Yeah, it's
like
perfect.
14
it's
different.
perfect.
You've
It
been
just
at
hasn't-
14 iterations.
It's perfect. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we're basically ready obviously lockdowns, and the models changed and all that kind of stuff. But the theme the entire time has been like, not buying a gym. I'm not buying a job. Sorry, I'm not going to be the cleaner. I'm not going to be the receptionist. I'm not like, otherwise we would already be open.
Are you opening it to the public, or is it just a studio sort of?
It's probably more of a headquarters, and then people are going to train there.
Yeah, priority is HQ. So
content.
Podcast studio, filming room, lecture room, like classroom,
education facility.
Somewhere it's aesthetic, so we can film content and do all that.
People
kind
can
of stuff.
hire it out if they wanted to for content stuff. Like
be
that.
able to create our own community, like you guys are talking about downstairs, where it's like we can still go train with our people when we want to train with our people.
And have fun training there.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't feel like you're training at work.
Yeah, and just have the stuff that I want to have too. I'm like Will. It's like I'm very selfish in that, and it's just like I just want to have. I don't want to have to drive to 3 different gyms to train like fucking every body part.
Because our first plan was like, let's make as much money out of this thing as we can, and now it's like the other thing makes money. This will add to all of the other things that we do.
Big time.
So that is the priority. It's just where we go to work.
Yep.
And then on top of that, we have this awesome. It's almost like most people would have a gym and then have like the classroom off to the side or the whatever or the posing room off to the side. It's like no, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And our spare room is this fucking amazing gym. That someone else runs for us.
I'd love to
manager.
have I'd love to have that as our next iteration of this space. I want
small rooms.
I want
space.
a lecture space, a studio that we can have, because I mean we've had a lot of people hire the facility out. Like we had Cody Simpson in here with L'Oreal shooting.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's wild.
Not too long ago. So I mean, obviously it was off peak hours and didn't really impede too much on the gym members. But you know, like if we can have somewhere that they can go privately to then do their portrait shots and stuff like that, he had to go to another studio to do that.
Yeah.
So. You know, that's, I mean, obviously a very unique situation having someone of that caliber in here, but, hey, like if people are out there looking at gyms, we had Gymshark in here as well, you know, like if they're looking for that sort of thing. And then if we have the likes of Jordan Shallow or whatever coming over and doing his lectures and workshops, we could have a private studio for him to do the theory component and then the practical component.
Doesn't affect the members of the gym as well. Everything runs the same, and you've got this great addition.
Exactly. That would be the ideal next step for this. But I don't want to bite off more than I
think
can.
about it just now.
But I think
we've just opened up another gym. Let's just let that one and this one kind of like do its thing first.
I think it's really important though to have that conversation, because like, what's up, guys? You're listening to the STC Fit Learning Podcast, brought to you by ourselves. Feel free to go check out our website, so stcfitlearning.com. On there, we have a bunch of free resources, including how to niche your business, how to actually sell during consults, and a free programming template, plus our business scorecard, which you can go and take and see how you stack up in the industry based on what we think is elite and how to become the best trainer in your gym, in your town, and in the industry. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you take a screenshot and tag us, we really, really appreciate it. It really helps get this message out to help improve our industry and keep people in their personal training careers. Enjoy the app. The people we work with have started in the same position. I know you started as just like health club personal trainer, like 15 grand a year rent. It's like, fuck this gym, it's so expensive. I was like, it's cute. But also just not actually thinking through those steps of like, especially because most of those people are 20 to 25.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can work your 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. now with your nap in the middle of the day and train. But that's not going to be
Go back
life,
to those days.
right? That's not going to be life forever.
Yeah.
So, like, committing yourself to a gym where you are the cleaner, the receptionist, the manager, the admin, everything. It's like, it's not just, people just see, like,
it's cool to be proud of something.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that actually
long term?
Where
are you going to land? Yeah. And lifestyle viable.
And not only that, like, do you want to give up that other job? But say you did try to do them both, as in, like, you kept the online coaching part and you tried to also run the gym, and that, like, you'll end up being crap at both. Like, if I did Alex's job, I would be way worse at it than him.
Yeah,
he does a fantastic job.
Yeah,
but I know that he does a way better job than what I could.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I pulled back from the coaching as well, because I'm like, I recognize that I'm not going to be as good of a coach if I keep bringing on more people. Like, you just have to step back a little bit and recognize what your role is long term.
Actually, just went through the same thing myself. Just had a huge run of clients.
Yeah,
and I was like, and we're moving to the app, and obviously we've got a rebrand coming, and all this other shit. The trip here, I was like, you know what? Books are closed.
Yeah,
because this is just gonna get shit.
Yeah,
and that's
It's such a weight off my shoulders the second that I was saying this, like, it's funny when I have a call with Roisin next week, she'll be so proud of me because I'll be like, I did it.
Guess what?
Like, it's been 2 years in the making, 3 years in the making, but I did it.
Yeah.
So I still have clients, but you know, like, it's just my current group.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it. We talked about getting back to doing the things that we love. Whenever we do our plans, it's always like there's a handful of clients always.
Yeah.
It's like coaching is still the thing that we like to do.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll keep that. It's just to what capacity and who with, I guess.
Yeah.
I still want my main job to be coaching.
Yeah.
But, like, there's just slightly different roles within that as well. Like, I'm coaching our coaches as well.
Yeah.
And helping them be better.
Yep.
And then Zach's stepped up his role from originally just the coach to now he's like what we just call him head coach, but like he runs education calls with the rest of our coaches as well.
Yeah.
So everybody's role is slowly evolving and stepping up, which is really
that's the online
cool.
side, and then in here as well, like Alex has helped out a lot with the Townsville guys down there and getting them up to paces as well. Like, obviously he's been here for a year now, and he knows the systems and he knows the culture and the community.
Knows how to sell it.
The selling, the standard that we have, because, you know, we aren't just a gym. We are a facility that you get your coaching and your programming. It's a service.
Yeah, it's very different to selling Worlds or Snap. Yeah. Somebody walks into Snap, what's your best weapon? Price.
Yeah.
We're $12. They're $15. Why buy us?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go into Worlds, it might be like we're 24/7, or like that's our feature. That's our defining thing that we're better at.
We're bigger.
We're bigger. We've got some other shit, you know, whatever. Whereas for us, it's like the community and the coaching is just something that you're just never going to get at a big commercial facility. Guarantee it. Like I'm fucking so confident on that.
Yeah.
That I will guarantee it to the end. Like I'm so passionate about that. It's easy to sell because I'm just like there is no possible way that we won't be better in those aspects.
And the results that you get out of those.
And then the results.
That's why you join a gym.
Exactly.
To get results. And if your current gym's not getting you the results, it's not the gym's fault, because the gym is just a place that you go and execute something.
It just has the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't worry about selling, obviously, on price, because we are more expensive. I have to be. I don't even worry about selling people the equipment. We used to, but now I'm like, people don't care. But I care. I want to sell it. I want to be like, look at our cool pendulum squat, man.
Yeah.
They're like,
we have the best pendulum squat. Come to our gym.
Yeah, but I wish I could say that, but
it doesn't work.
No,
I've
this
tried. Pendulum squat's 3 times the price of that pendulum squat. Like it's handmade. It's better. And
Instead, I just get people in, sell them on the coaching and stuff, and then when they use it, that's when they're like, yes. And then I'm like, see, fuck.
Yeah.
But that's been our little evolution, and then Townsville was the one that we slapped on top of that. So a year after this opened, Townsville opened, and that was a slightly different process, but it's still us through and through, as in like all hand chosen equipment on the bodybuilding-ish side, and then the powerlifting aspect to it. The difference is they're a lot bigger, so they run a lot more comps. So we do like powerlifting comps, strongman comps, a couple other different types of comps out of there.
Yeah.
So
Are they the main gym there? Like, is there many?
in terms of strength gyms, by far, it's
It's 3 times the size of this.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
but
Yeah,
strength gyms in Townsville. It's
the one,
the only one really.
Yeah.
Right on one of the main roads, like everyone knows
Awesome.
the space. You drive past and you just see, like the first day when I was up there setting it all up. So we went up in November and we met the previous owners and had our meetings and spoke with a few of the members, and we said, like, you know, this is our intentions, but what do you love about the place? Like, what do you want to see stay here, and what do you want to see grow and change, and, you know, what could be done differently or better, so that we're coming in here showcasing to you guys that we have the best intentions. Like, you are the reason why this place exists. What do you want? How can we help that? And I think that was a really big thing for both Will and I, and for the members to see that, like, you know, we're not coming in this as outsiders trying to make bank. We're coming in this with the intentions of helping this place continue to grow. So we went up there in November and did that. And then I went back up in February to help the finalizing of setting it all up. And the first day I walked there from our Airbnb, and I got this like overwhelming like sense of like, holy fucking shit, like this is real. Like the gym's 3 times the size of this, and the sign is like 7 meters across the front. Like, it's enormous, just like this big billboard right out the front on this main road. And I was like, oh my God, like I got goosebumps now. I'm like, this is real, you know what I mean? It was just such an overwhelming sense of like accomplishment that like it's like not in an egotistical kind of way though. It was just like something like I was really, really proud of. And then obviously, like, you know, the changes and stuff like that we'd made since, like aesthetically changing.
That's still developing.
That's a feeling that's hard to get in the online space. Like we get it with our events. Where it's like every now and then you'd stand at the back of a room and go,
this is pretty cool.
Fuck. We're 2,000 Ks from home, and like we chose the wrong location because all of our people came from Gold Coast and we ran it in Brisbane. But like people drove
next time
to listen to us, and it's just like, wow, like this is a huge moment. But when you like finish an online program or like sell out your books online, there's nothing to like look at. It's like, oh, cool, I'll go.
My bank account, like that's it.
Or anyone to tell, or it's just a weird.
I think the thing that gives me that feeling online is when I get those messages from my clients.
Yeah, well, that's probably the
and
only
then seeing them at comp, like watching.
To...
I mean, Anthony is a really good example of this. After Pro Raw, didn't exactly have the best prep by any means, and with communications with me, anyways, not so much with Will, but to see him, at the end of that, like last deadlift, locking it out, he literally picked me up and was like slapping me on the back, like bear hugging me, and I'm just like dangling around, like, but like he was so proud and so happy to have accomplished that after the day that he'd had, and the messages of support and love that he gave afterwards for both of us being there. And, you know, not making him feel shameful or guilty as to, you know, how things had turned out. But, like, that is what kind of gave me that warm and fuzzy feeling of, like, the people being like, you are there for me in some of my darkest days. And that is, like, that's kind of what gives me that sense of, like, proud accomplishment thing. It's different. It's not the same because it's not physical. But it's like knowing I've made a direct impact on the quality of this person's life. Long term.
Which is why we do it.
Yeah.
Like that's why you show up every day.
We are people, and we're here to help people.
Because there's way better ways to make
through the hard time. For sure. Gets you through.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's trying to bring that to the Townsville space as well, and just showcase to the community up there that though we are not there, we are still very much like, you know, invested in that space. Like, you know, the strength coach that's there, Jason, he's been with Nexus for longer than anybody.
Yeah, 7 years. I think he's he's come up a bit longer than that.
7 or 8 years.
When we moved to the Gold Coast, he was my first client here.
And he's been with us the whole way through.
And it hasn't stopped. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good.
Now he's our coach.
It's
the evolution.
So what would you say is, because I think it's more interesting than what you did well, what are the biggest couple of mistakes that you've made?
With the gym in particular?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I think everyone sees the gym as like it's like the end goal. It's the glamorous piece.
No,
like what level of PT
there are some things. The mistakes. I feel like for me, with the online stuff, like we had ages to figure it out. Like we fucked up a whole lot of time, but you can do that online because there's no overheads.
Yeah.
So if you fuck up something, you say you don't get any clients or leads or whatever, you're like, oh, that sucks. But like, I'm not going backwards.
Yeah.
So like, it's fine. But we eventually got there, and through business coaching or through just screwing up enough times, we eventually worked out like this is how we need to market, and we're still developing that. We're still not the best by any means, but I feel like we've understand our market a little bit better with the online, and we just know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
And then when we open up the gym, I don't think either of us really maybe quite expected it to be so much different.
It's
like,
harder to sell.
You're talking to very different people, because I was like, I don't know, maybe I was just naive and I thought, no, it'll just be the same. Like people will want coaching and it'll be fine. But the people that I deal with online are not completely different, but are definitely different in here. Like it's just a different level of person when they have different goals, different thoughts. I'm speaking to a different person. So at the start, we probably went, we were just missing our mark on our language and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas now
we're trying to appeal to a higher caliber person.
We're doing exactly what Mikki said before, which is talking to powerlifters that already know we exist because they Google us.
Yeah.
Whereas, eventually worked out, wait, what are we actually selling here again? Yeah. And then it came back to like what we were saying before, the community, the coaching, the shit that we do better than Worlds and Snap and all that.
You don't have to be a powerlifter.
No, fuck no, I don't care.
Yeah, to be strong.
So
whatever.
Once we worked out who they were, then
I heard Thomas speak about that when he first started out too. And he was like, he was marketing to powerlifters and then realized he already had them all.
Yeah.
It was like, well, they're all here. And if they compete, they know who we are.
Yeah.
So I actually have to talk to people who just maybe genuinely want to get stronger, and then they turn into powerlifters because they're in the environment, and that stuck with me heaps, and I've always kind of taken that approach too.
Yeah, for me, it's like, have you, like some of the phrases that we've used in our marketing is like, have you outgrown your group fitness class?
Yeah.
Are you sick of, the busyness of commercial gyms or fighting for equipment and stuff like that? Are you looking for, a community and an environment that makes you feel warm and welcomed?
Yeah. Sometimes we get a little bit off track with it because we don't, I don't know, you start to like put out ads that you want to hear, kind of, and then you then you go like, fuck, why is nobody signing up? And then you're like, oh, we've made that same mistake. It's like, fuck, reevaluate, go back. It's still trial and error.
Yeah, the biggest lesson or mistake that we made was, I would say that marketing stuff, which is still kind of working through, lead generation and that. But
tried heaps of different ways.
Yeah, I think it's just recognizing like our brand, our identity, who the person is that we want in here, that ideal market, and then just really honing in on that.
Yeah.
That's the lesson that we're learning.
Yeah. And they're all different. That's the annoying part of it all. Is it like mentorship, talking to a different person?
Correct.
Yeah. Online coaching, talking to a different person. In the gyms, talking to a different person. Even Townsville Gold Coast, there's a slight difference in their attitude.
The demographic.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that that's one thing that was a big learning curve. And I mean, fortunately, financials and the money side of it, we knew, like our price points, we knew all that sort of stuff. Like we had a great business coach that gave us all the sort of things that we need to make those decisions really, really easy. Because I think that's where a lot of people also go horribly wrong, is that they just throw a lot of money at the equipment and the aesthetics and things like that of the space, and then they're just like, oh shit, like. But then they're underpriced or considerably overpriced or whatever. So I think they
just don't know the market.
Yeah, exactly. So fortunately, we had a lot of those sorts of things already set up. We knew our budget coming into it, and we just kind of like made sure to the best of our abilities, we stuck to it. I mean, there's been some equipment that I'm like, oh, Will, what about this? And even now, Will's like looking at equipment. He's like, Mikki, what about this? And I'm like, budget.
And it's not even that. It's like, where are we going to put it? It's like, in the garage. Eventually, we'll find a place for it, surely. But that's just us being suckers because we train hard.
Yeah.
I think walking the walk, that's another thing to talk about. You know what I mean? How many gym owners do you see like actually training like hard for something and like trying to be a role model?
Because they don't set their business up properly.
I remember the first gym I worked out of. He might have spoken to Tyler about it, but the guy who owned it was a lawyer.
Yeah.
And you could fucking tell.
Yeah.
You were just like all the equipment was just laid out in ways that didn't make sense to the person who trained. But to people that, you know, like, oh, what's that leg doing there when these ones are just things like that, and the quality of things, like, and they were upgrading things that as a person who trained, I didn't care about.
Yeah.
So like, but it was a commercial space, so it is different. But just remembering that and going like, I don't want to be that fucking dude.
Yeah.
Like,
We're a gym designed by lifters for lifters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another big thing for us as well. So
you've
just like throwing in all my little like catch lines here.
that's it.
Clip that. Clip that.
You've mentioned marketing quite a few times.
Yes.
What are some of like the main mediums more than anything? Because I think everyone's obviously just throwing everything at Instagram at the moment.
Yeah.
Like you guys, ads, email campaigns. Like what's
I think we've done it all.
Main thing?
But it's still heavily social media for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So before we keep going, I just want to give you guys a little message about our Standout PT program. So Standout PT has been designed for personal trainers who want to sustain a long-term career in fitness, but right now they're sick of chasing clients, they're not making enough time for money, and they're super frustrated with the results that they're getting in their business, and they can't see themselves being here in 3 to 5 years' time. If you want to know more about the Standout PT program, head to stcfitlearning.com, head to programs, and all the details are there, and you can book in your free exploration call where we can have a look and see whether or not that would actually be a suitable program for where your business is at right now. And back to the episode.
Just a lot of referral as well, like being the type of gym we are, when we keep coming back to like that culture, community type stuff. Like,
make your members work for you.
Yeah, like for example, like
another catchphrase, good one.
somebody's training in here, and they're two sides of the coin. Maybe they're getting 6 results, and then they come in because we program for people individually.
Yeah.
So like they come in here, or they put in a block review or whatever, and they say like, I'm getting amazing results, like absolutely loving it, smashing PBs, blah blah blah, like in a fucking mood, like a great mood. Like we go like, cool, like, you know, like, do you know anyone? Like your friends, family? Like you want that person, like whilst if they're getting 6 results, like tell everybody else about them.
Put that out on social media and tell
sometimes
their
you
friends.
push people a little bit for that, and they're usually more than happy to oblige because they're getting great results.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that coin, there are, unfortunately, but it's inevitable, that some people just don't get great results for whatever reason. And then, but the fact we reach out and we go like, hey, like, why aren't you getting great results?
Yeah.
How
Then
can we
it
help?
also works for us, because it's like, how can we help that? How can we solve this problem?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, my training, it's great, but fuck, you know, my nutrition sucks. It's like, okay, cool, we have a service for that.
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't get motivated to come to the gym. Like, I just can't stick to it. I'm not consistent. It's like, well, we have coaching.
Yeah.
You know, when I come in, I get a little bit bored and I kind of go off program. It's like, well, we actually have semi-private coaching, and if you want a bit of a hype crew, fuck, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, so like we have solutions to all these problems. So whether they're going amazing or whether they're going bad, we can kind of like, we can help more.
Yeah.
And we can use that to
And those
to
were
grow.
all questions that we created answers for when we were originally putting this place together as well. Every problem that we could think of, we tried to find an answer for, so that it meant for Alex selling memberships or doing game plan sessions and whatever with our members, that like there was never really a solution that we couldn't find for someone. Like we've got members jobs out of this gym when they've turned around and said, I'm financially going through hardship at the moment. Obviously, as Will said, we are higher end. We are a little bit more expensive. We understand that. So we went out of our way. We're a community-based gym. We have people in here that are very, very, very successful business owners giving new up-and-coming young guys jobs so that they can stay training here in the gym. You know what I mean? So like having
not that was a
not a selling point.
No, but it's just like that's
train here first, then eat.
That's a reaction of having a good community, though.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Like the fact that these guys are, going out of their way to help people, stay around here.
I just think when you say marketing, I definitely used to, but like it's so easy to view as like such a negative thing. Like, marketing.
Yeah, it makes people's skin crawl. That's what we especially the young coaches. They
just
think,
the word is like, yuck. Marketing, you market, fuck that. You know,
it's like it's
like I just get results.
A shame associated to having to market as well.
Just
an integral part of business.
But you need to just flip. But as soon as I went, marketing is just helping people find
showing people what you do.
Exactly. As soon as I started to flip and same with sales. Like I used to view sales as such a dirty word. It's like yuck. Oh, used car salesman. Like yuck. I just don't want to be that guy that's talking people into shit. But then once you, like I said before, I am literally so fucking confident with what we do.
Yeah.
We are gonna get your results.
Yeah.
So like it's not even sales. It's just like
showing people you can get them.
Yeah, and it's just when they walk in the door, you walk in the door and you go, I've got this problem. I go, cool, we can solve that. Bang, that's the sale. That's the sales process. It's not how do I talk Jason into buying our top tier product.
You're not convincing people. You're being a specialist and going, this is.
And I'm more than happy for you to go in the bottom one. I don't even care about like which one you fit in. It's just like I'm just trying to fit you into where you're going to get the best
it's not financially where am I going to make
results.
the most money of you. It's like where are you going to be best suited to actually get what you need.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like going back to different strategies that we've used, you know, we mentioned like making the members work for you, and those are a lot of the different ways that we have that set up. But then, you know, we've done Facebook ads, we've done Google marketing, we've done social media,
emails, events
posts.
is another one for us that we're a little bit unique from. I mean, I know it's not strictly marketing, but like, you know, we've had
lead strategy, I guess.
We've had cool seminars here. We've run like the deadlift for dogs thing here. So like that was a really cool event and had like Anthony come up and pull 400 and shit. So like people are going to come watch that and then they get a bit of an inkling, go like, fuck, this is a good community. Maybe I should look in it. So like it's not strictly marketing, but it is if you think about it from a way.
If we can bring people into the space here, like the hardest thing for us when it comes to selling is getting someone in the door.
Yeah,
as soon as we've got them in this environment, they've got the bug. You know
anybody
what I mean?
that's kind of knows what they're doing with training, if you train here for a week, I guarantee you signing up. Unless there's like you don't live here or some shit. You know, I can nearly guarantee it. There's 99% chance because our equipment's the best, our community's the best, our systems and getting results, our programming and all that is just, I don't know. I believe in it that much.
Yeah. So I think you know, by running different workshops or seminars and things like that and just drawing people into the building is one of the ways that we found most successful because they've already got a little bit of buy-in. You know what I mean? They've already got that little bit of like, oh, these guys are a bit of an authority, and from there they kind of that fear of what everyone knows that like walking into a new gym, you kind of like, oh, like I don't.
Yeah, it's a little bit intimidating.
It's intimidating. It's awkward, and obviously we're a near black gym with someone like Will walking around with his no shoes on, shirt off. You know what I mean?
Sweaty,
sweaty, like big, stinky, screaming guys. Like it can be really intimidating.
Metal on the
so
music.
once you have the conversation with him and you realize that like, oh, this guy's actually just like a really chill dude. Like it's not so scary. And then, you know, all of our staff and stuff like that are really welcoming. The whole community is really welcoming. Once they get over that initial fear of coming in, it's fine. Like even yesterday we went to a gym, and I just sat out the front of the gym and like everyone was kind of like,
who the fuck are these
guys? Who's this person? You know what I mean? Like there was, whereas here, there's two people in particular that like you walk in and they're like, hey, how are ya? You know what I mean? Like they're in your face from the start.
Have to start learning how to do that, man.
Yes. All right. Yeah. I'll throw Richie out there.
This is what you're talking about. You hire
someone else to do it.
You
still have to do it when you're in there, you jerk, all right?
I'll say hello to everybody here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
They came to you first.
Yeah. But honestly, that's been and that's what I mean in another fashion of making your members work for you. Because if you've got members walking up to fresh faces in the building going like, hey, how are you? Like, what's your name? How can
it doesn't
I help
even
you?
stop
Whatever.
there. Like we have members. The one guy I'm thinking of in particular, Richie, he'll make the craziest fucking reels about his like training here, and it'll be like full editing, like, and I'm like, man, this guy, like, we may as well just call you our marketing guy because like the shit that you put out is great.
He flew down to
Pro War to watch us compete in that. I'm like, man, you don't have to come down. Like, you're not even
that's cool
powerlifter. Like, you're just a member at our gym, and like you come down
that's
and
part of it. That's
just loves it.
Yeah,
you know.
really
so
cool.
like, if we can turn all these people and get them such good results that they're our marketing crew.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think all of this is really important, speaking to the regular coach, even in the gym sense, like I know one of the triggers for me to be like, I'm confident to go online now is I had at least half a dozen, maybe more clients in the gym that weren't members, that came because they'd found me or they'd had that experience where a friend told them or whatever, and they ended up traveling to my gym, paying casual to come in and do PT. And I was like, okay, so I have the capacity to bring in organic clients outside of this environment now, so I'm sweet to go online. Whereas I think a lot of PTs fall in the trap of like, yeah, I've got 40 clients in the gym, but they're all gym members. Yeah. And they haven't thought about, well, how am I going to market? How am I going to attract people? Who is the person?
Yeah.
Like,
they rely solely on the space to bring them the leads rather than bringing the leads in.
I'm the person and I've got all of these businesses and they're charging me $15,000 a year rent. Fuck them. I'm going to go open my own place and I'll make all of the money.
Yeah. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah. It's like, but you have, without that membership list, you have no clients.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've had to talk to even like my cousins and stuff who are PTs and go like, they're like, oh, me and 3 of the other trainers, we all are in the same boat and we all hate working at X gym and we all pay $300 a week rent. So if we combine it together, that's like $1,200 and that's easily paying rent for a building. And I was like,
yeah.
And then one of our equipment costs, you realize that piece of equipment I know, that's $15,000.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Let alone the marketing,
insurance,
the week-to-week costs.
And then you say, what's your average retention rate? It's like, 6 months. Like, cool. So you've got 6 months of clients.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you right now, they're not going to come over with you.
Those clients are not coming with you.
Yeah.
That was a big wake-up call for us.
Yeah.
we had I believe 1 or 2 existing members on the Gold Coast, online clients signed up to the gym.
Our entire client base is not in the Gold Coast at all.
Yeah.
I had more clients
in the Netherlands.
I had in the Gold Coast when we opened this gym.
Yeah.
I remember looking at that and going,
it's not just us.
Yeah.
It's not just us.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone just assumes I live in Sydney now.
Yes.
So all of my clients are in Sydney.
Really? We actually have we had a huge market in Melbourne. Sydney is probably one of our smallest market locations.
I don't feel like Melbourne's quite come back yet.
Yeah.
New South Wales.
Yeah, but it's just like finding those few. Again, you
get a pocket.
You do. Because one, you get one guy results and he's like, this is fucking great.
They tell everyone, everyone sees it.
Yeah, so you end up with little just
pockets all over the place.
Yeah, pockets, whatever, for people.
Yeah, the social media stuff's been a big learning curve for us, is finding out like who we are, our message, and putting that out there.
Yeah.
As Will said, like we have different statuses and different tones for each individual person we're trying to speak to from the business. So that's something that we're still working through and learning, and just lead generation in general. Yeah, you always are. But there's other things that like some people feel icky about doing, which is like if someone's engaging or following your social media account, like reaching out to them, starting the conversation up with them, like, hey, what brought you to my page? You engaged with me. It's not me going out and cold messaging someone when you've created that initial interaction.
I was a Nexus client for 3.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Because you messaged me about my shoulder.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
There you go.
And was like,
yeah, but
try this. And I was like, that's the best my shoulders felt in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I please pay you money?
Yeah.
All the time. That happens all the time. And it's not even a marketing strategy. It's just like I had a guy yesterday that's just come to mind, and he just like commented on, I think when I was ticking off the goal or whatever on the board, and then of winning pro, and then like Richie filmed it, and Richie put up like, oh, the next goal is 400, which not that simple, but then somebody responded to that story and was like, oh, that's massive or some shit, like just real. And then I was like, cool, what are your goals, man?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I want to squat 200, and I'm like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just I genuinely am interested.
Yeah.
But
that's
goes
the
a
other
long
thing
way.
too. It's not a front.
No.
Yeah. Like we're the same. Like obviously, I run the STC Fit Learning page. It's like a new coach follows. It's like, how's business? And it's not like check your DMs, bro. Like every other fucking business coach.
Like 4 of the photos first.
Yeah. It's like, no, really. Like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Because we have heaps and heaps of free shit, and if you just do some of the free shit, you'll probably be doing better than what you're doing right now and never have to pay us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of like
there's no expectations.
General free advice that I, give out from people dropping into my DMs or seeing something. Like I saw someone was doing a comp 2 weeks ago, and she had 3 protein bars. as her
Food through the day.
comp day food.
Perfect.
I was like, let's try like this and that instead. Like you might find that might make your digestion feel a little bit better come the end of the day. And she was like, oh, thanks so much.
I feel like
you
it's
know
going
what I
one
mean?
of
Like
two
just
ways by the end of the day.
I'm not viewing this in a lens of
protein
like
bars or definitely.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Coming out one of two holes, you mean?
Either the belt's not getting done up or
Yeah.
the suit's coming off real quick.
Yeah.
But
But
with your shoulder and that, like, obviously, like, I don't know the answer because anybody tells you they know the answer to shoulder pain or whatever is full of shit. But, like, that's what makes it interesting. It's like, can I solve this problem? It's like almost like a little puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Play with this.
that's
I don't
just
know.
how you
It's
are
just-
as a person.
Yeah, I'm
as
just
well,
inquisitive. I just like
It's a
to go
curious
like,
mindset.
try this. And then if it works, cool. Like,
Like-
I know it's problem solving.
Yeah.
I just,
Will's mum told me that like him as a kid, he used to go to his pop's house and they'd take clocks apart
Yeah.
and they'd put things back together, and he was just really curious as to how, like, what was it? We're at my parents' place and there was a little wrestle dude that like you'd flick the head and the
Yeah,
head
yeah.
would spin,
Yeah.
and he was sitting there and he's like just dissecting this
I want to see how it
thing.
works.
He's like, how
Yeah.
does this work? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to understand this contraption.
It almost annoys
So-
me to no end, though, because once you understand enough about the human body, you realize that nobody knows a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that frustrates me daily.
Yeah. Because you can listen to one person that's figured it out, and then you listen to
Yeah.
another
Nobody's
person
figured it
that's
out.
figured it out, and it's like they are not the same.
Even with
Yeah.
programming, it's like my views have changed. This is going out of business now, but my views have changed from like it used to be, this is what works.
Yeah.
And these things don't work. Whereas now it's like more like these couple of things don't work and the rest of it
It works.
kind of works
Yeah.
as long as you kind of put in enough effort and shit.
Yeah.
And so like that annoys me.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
a system, but the body just doesn't.
I think that's
the
just
body owes you
maturity
nothing.
Maturity as a coach, right?
Just evolution.
But yeah, we adopted the vocabulary of I'm curious.
Mm.
Like Jace used to say it every second sentence. It's, I'm just curious. Tell me more information about this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like I am. It usually was I disagree. It was Jason's like cover for I disagree, or that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
just curious. Tell me more, because it's like I do just want to
Straight
understand.
up disagreeing with people is a very different tone.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing.
It doesn't really get anything productive out of that
Oh,
Then
that's
it's
conversation.
like,
useless.
fuck you,
It's
man.
like, yeah. How did you get to that opinion?
Lizzie Rawdar's very, very good like that. Like, I would just make a blank statement about something completely. I don't even know where it would come from. She's like, why do you think that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where did you get, why is that, like, in your
Yeah.
head? Where did that come
I
from?
took a long time to be comfortable around Lizzie for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah,
she's just
especially
like,
when you're in
why do you
face to
think like
face,
that? And you're like,
the body language too.
I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. It was just
Yeah.
a thought
Why
for
do you
10
think that one?
seconds.
So
I'm
deep.
sorry I said it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You
like,
go to a spiral
But
of
it's
every
awesome.
decision you've made in your life.
Yeah.
the reason why Lizzie and Will got along so well, because like obviously Dean and Liz are very, very good friends of ours, but the reason why like Lizzie and Will got along so well is like Lizzie would ask like, Will, why do you think that? And he'd like, I have an answer for you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas some people like me, I'll be like,
I've never been asked that before.
Yeah.
it's a thought.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know where
me.
I found this.
Deer in
Like
headlights,
it is what it is. Whereas
Because I
Will's
probably
like,
thought about it for 5 hours previous to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So she was always intrigued in his mind as
Mm.
well, because he's obviously just a very quiet, chilled person. So if Will does have something to say, it's
It's been
been
thought through.
through
Yeah.
for 5 hours before he's even said it. So he sat there
I've
and
thought about it in the shower going like, fuck, that's... Yeah, Ben's shoulder, jeez.
thinking about your
Thinking
shoulder
about it in the shower, mate. There you
Yes.
go. Fuck
I've
yeah.
made it.
Beautiful.
But yeah, no, it's been obviously a fun ride over the last few months and the last year with how things have grown. But
What's up, guys? Another quick break. I just wanted to jump in and remind you guys about the STC Fit Learning mentorship. Now, our mentorship's been running since about 2016, where we've developed trainers through their first year of business in personal training and allowed them to leapfrog the first 5 years of mistakes that we made. If you're currently studying, looking to finish in the next month or so, or you're looking for someone to help you out with mentoring and all that kind of stuff, jump on, have a look at the details for the mentorship at stcfitlearning.com. Head to programs and mentorship and all the details are there. And you can come and be an STC Fit coach for an entire year. Includes all of our education and direct mentoring from our head coaches. Back to the episode.
business overall is
Oh, the mistakes thing. Staff has always been. That's one
Right.
thing that Rasheen
staff
really.
were a mistake.
No, they're not. They're not a mistake, but just like it's
Finding
just,
them.
it's just another layer of
Yeah.
things to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all great. I love our people, but it's just everybody's unique, which is good, but also
challenging.
Yes.
Yeah. We have fantastic staff because we had really clear systems as to how we found those staff.
Yeah.
And the process in which I put them through. Like Rasheen taught me shit testing.
Yeah.
So before we bring anyone on board, I throw shit tests at them to see how they do with it, and under the pressure of like, oh fuck, like you know,
how
like,
can you adapt?
How can
Why
you
do you think
adapt?
that
And yeah, so like poor Alex got thrown the biggest shit test. Like we had him working for this gym essentially for 3 months before he even got $1 from us. You know what I mean?
Not he didn't have a scheduled start time and shit, but yeah.
No, he was volunteering a lot of his time to help set things up.
Yeah, how much are you gonna be? How much do you care about us?
Yeah.
Or like how much does this mean to you?
Yeah. So no, we had some really good interview processes and things like that in place to ensure that before anyone came on board as a part of Nexus that they were a right fit for the community as well. So like we had we had Zach involved in our interview processes as well, because it's not just like mine and Will's opinions of this person, but like how do you get along with the team? And Zach has been like he is the team, you know what I mean? Like he is a huge glue to Nexus over the last few years, and the community that all of our teams have, because obviously as Will and I get busier and busier, we need to make sure that we have someone around for that. So when they come in and they're working with him and they're doing their education, they're mentoring with him, that they get along and that. So
it's a tough lesson to learn. Like obviously we're working now with more and more coaches that are starting to like expand teams and just like understanding that no one cares as much as you do.
No.
And then trying to find people that are at least invested and that do care about the mission and the vision and stuff that you have put together, and assembling a team like that and filtering out. Because again, like it almost becomes like when you're searching and begging for clients, you search and beg for the wrong people. And then it becomes the same when you look for staff. It's like, oh, this person will be great because X, Y, Z. But
I'm sure you have all these sorted, but like I think like questions, like try to put myself in their shoes and then ask myself questions like, why would I work for us?
Yeah.
What's in it for me?
Yeah.
Type thing. And then
100%.
Like how can I grow? How can I get further within the brand?
Yeah.
Is there an opportunity for growth?
Yeah, because if you said to me, like if Mikki was hiring me and then you're like, oh, your salary's going to be this and there's never any way forward. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and the person
that's going to accept that, think about that person. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's like, I mean, Zach's a great example of obviously having growth within the role because he's been with us for the longest. And each performance review that we're doing with him, which is another thing, business coaches or business owners out there do frequent performance reviews with your staff to make sure that they're happy, they have an opportunity to present to you if there's any concerns. But like every time we've done our reviews with Zach, it's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from us as directors? How can we help your role, be more satisfying, fulfilling? Who's your preference in terms of clientele and market and stuff like that. So you're not going to our preferences, but the whole growth of things as well. So, he was like, I want to do education. I want to get into the mentorship. That was 2 years ago. Here we are now. He's a large component of the growth of that. The next step was like, I want to start educating some of our other coaches that we have come on board. Boom. There's the next category for him to be able to have diversity in it, not just sitting there putting numbers into a spreadsheet. It's like people think that that's all we do.
Yeah.
And then Jordan, in terms of the nutrition side of things, we've given her, involvement in the nutrition course that we've just recently done. And she loved that. Like she was like really nervous, obviously, initially, but loved the fact that there was, a change in her role. So she does a lot of our social media management and stuff like that.
There's a way
too.
forward.
So yeah. Overall, it was fun, diverse.
Making sure people are happy.
Yeah.
Because I know other business owners that just like churn through stuff and they're like, how do you find people to stick around? And I'm like, because I ask them what they want and then try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually
it's as simple as that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be as flexible as we can.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's next for you guys? Give us a scoop. Nothing. Consolidate now.
Getting married.
Yeah, getting married and then going over to America for our first real holiday in a long time.
Awesome.
Unreal.
So that's kind of for the next 6 months, putting our foot down and trying to get the gyms to that next kind of level where they're doing great.
Autonomy.
Run a
I
don't know, but trying to, but just moving, making sure they're moving forward.
Yeah.
And then the mentorship, we have another mentorship in a few months from now. So just trying to make we're only running one this year. It's probably going to be the plan going forward. So just making sure that's where we want it to be.
Yeah.
So both in terms of content and value, but also like the amount of people in it and stuff. So there's a couple of things to do, but we're trying to work as hard as we can until the wedding and until the honeymoon after that, because it's much easier when you have a goal date and you go like, I'm going on holidays here, so I'm going to fucking go hard.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're absolutely killing yourself every day and there's no end date, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
That was as soon as Will proposed to me last year, we sat down and we're like, all right, like, how are we going to do this? Like, what is the plan? What does the future look like? So we both agreed that like the next 18 months, which was from that point, we were going to put all of our eggs in this basket and go hard on the business so that we could afford to, not financially afford, but like mentally like afford to take the time away and really decompress. For me, it'd be the first holiday I had in over 5 years. So I'm and
real
truly
holiday.
due. Well, I mean, like, what other holidays have we had really? Like
Yeah.
going
All
to
of our
Melbourne
other
for
holidays
Pro
are
Raw.
just business trips in disguise.
Yeah, 3 weeks in Townsville, setting up a gym down there, working 14
Great
hours
holiday.
a day. Yeah, that's a holiday. I'm in Townsville. It's a holiday,
it's close
right?
to the water.
I'm at home.
It's hot.
No, I had 1 day off there. So
That's what
it's
our
just,
wives think when we're here.
Yeah.
I'm chilling on a beach right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. And then, I mean, who knows? We've got options of.
Yeah, there's a few
or
different directions we can take it. Like I
gyms
said, we've got our fingers in a different bucket. So it's like which one brings us the most enjoyment, and like, what
Makes
is it opening another gym, or is it pushing for more of the education route, or do we want to bring on more coaches so we can coach more people, or is it making all those things slightly more efficient and just being happy where we are?
Apps or
we've talked about that a little bit already. But there are options. But it's like working out what's the right option. It's difficult. We haven't made that decision yet.
I actually have
It's nice to have options though.
I actually have a booking in our calendar for Thursday, Will, to talk over what our options are.
There you go.
I put it in the Google Calendar.
I haven't seen that one.
We're way too early.
Yeah, Will
I
hasn't
live
seen
my
it.
life one day at a time.
Yeah, I'm the one that's like,
If it's not
Here
my
we go.
calendar, I'm not there.
One of us has to be.
I put it in the calendar.
Me too.
So we're talking about the next 6 months, what exactly we've got, so we have clarity on what that looks like.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, all right, 3-year, 5-year options. Because I don't like the idea of being like, in 5 years' time, I want to be here. Like, fuck that. Like, if you've lived our life for the last 12 months, like, as you said, we never wanted a gym, and now here we are with 2. Like, Townsville was something that was an opportunity that was presented to us back in October. They said, like, we're looking for someone to take over. Are you interested? Is this something? And I was just like, yes, I like this. And Will's like, no, like, let's just get this thing ready to go. So, who knows? I don't want to kind of confine ourselves.
But again, to bring
too
it back to
much.
training, like that's why long-term periodization is really difficult.
Yeah.
Something we're not massive
Things
advocates
changes.
of is because like I want to do a comp in
3 years.
the middle of next year. You're like, great. And then like along the way, like life happens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a kid now, or I just opened this business and my life is fucked and I can't give as much on training anymore, or you know, I don't know, so many different iterations of that story where like the plan is not. The plan is always so much more adaptive than you realise.
Yeah.
So
For sure. We have some clear, concise things and then other stuff that we just kind of go with the flow, and I think that's what makes it exciting for our staff, at least.
Yeah. What will they do next?
When we told them about Townsville, it was so funny. I was like in the meeting, I'm like, so guys, Will and I have some news for you. They're all expecting I was pregnant. I was like, no, we have a new baby. Jim, 3 times the size of this one. They're like, what? So that was fun.
Yeah.
But
prepare yourselves.
yeah.
Seatbelts on.
Yeah. So.
No, it's cool. It's been awesome to watch, because obviously Will and I were talking about like the first podcast that we did. I think we've worked out was either 2017, 2018. To just see the Nexus brand expand over that period of time has been really cool. The facility is awesome. If you are in the Gold Coast, make sure you swing by. say hello. Where does everyone
We're in
find
Burley.
all of your stuff?
I always just refer people to Instagram because then once you find the Instagram, you'll funnel off into wherever you need to be.
Yeah.
So
Nexus Performance.
there's nexusperformance.aus, nexusperformance.gym, and Nexus, which is this gym in the Gold Coast, and then there's nexusperformance.tsv, which is the Townsville gym.
Yeah.
So there's a few different ones of that, but you'll find one, you'll find.
Yeah.
You'll find whatever.
Sweet.
And Will's at W Croz, and I'm Mikki Wescombe for now. But our website's obviously www.nexusperformance.com.au.
Yeah, that'll
Sweet.
also funnel you into your
Don't forget the
appropriate-
.au.
Yeah. So we've
Yeah.
got mentorships and heaps of different things kind of in the pipeline at the moment. So really excited for all of that.
Been a useful
Yeah.
insight for all
Awesome.
the personal trainers who are like, I'm
Yeah.
going to open a gym one day, to actually start thinking about what that really means.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm a big fan of jumping the deep end, but like, sometimes
Check
you're
the
gonna
water
jump
level
in
first. Yeah.
a little bit, but like understand that it's
At least know how to swim.
there are
Yeah, at
multiple.
least know how to swim before you jump in the deep
Well,
end.
know what you're getting into a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just know that there's multiple roles within a gym, and that your rent at Worlds or Good Life or wherever the hell you are is paying for way more than just
You being
your access
there.
to. Trust me, it's
Yeah.
worth it. It's worth it at the start. Pay it and be happy.
Yeah.
Be grateful for those 3-hour
For the
nap times
opportunities.
between.
Yes.
I wish I could go
Yeah.
back.
Grateful
to
for
those days.
for the opportunity to stand in front of somebody and completely fucking fail your pitch.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
Yeah.
what was your first ever? If you want to round that off, there, your first ever sales pitch, your first
oh,
ever
man, I
client.
remember it very clearly. Yeah. Not.
Didn't she say to you like, "Have you ever done this before?"
Yeah. I
Oh.
remember walking in his office and I'm like so super nervous and just fidgety and like, oh. And then I was like, so, just following the exact script that
Yeah,
I'd been told by the gym to follow. And luckily she ended up turning to be just an absolute legend of a person and not holding me too hard on it.
Yeah.
And she was like, is this your first time like selling or being in this? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's okay. Like, and then like helped me. And then she ended up staying with me for a couple of years and,
That's
and
awesome.
getting great results. But
Yeah.
she could tell that I think she could just tell that I was at least passionate and knew what I was talking about, but just sucked it completely.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
That
the
bit.
sales
the
Yeah.
sale part of it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
failing those little things, it just helps before you get
I learned a lot about it.
large
Yeah.
overhead.
Oh man, if you're like that, if you're walking into that and you own the gym, well, fuck. You're yeah, it's
Long
not
way
going to
to
be
go.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. It was
Thank
good
you.
chat.
Thank you.
All the best.